What's up, friends? Tom Watkins here. I want to make a quick video today about some fundamental things that I think you should practice as a guitar player, and this should be in your practice, I think, every day or every time that you pick up the instrument. We have all heard about like different warm-up routines and things like that, but I think even the professional players, like high-level professional players, I think that they still work on, I would wager that they still work on fundamental stuff, because, especially people that play improvised music, you want to get to the spot and you're improvising when you're not thinking about, am I playing the right scale? Am I playing the right chord shape? What are my fingers doing? You to be able to flow, which is where we all want to be, you need to let all of that stuff go. But to let all of that stuff go, you need to have really, really strong fundamentals with the instrument. So, and I'm talking about basic stuff here. It's not glamorous stuff, you guys. Like, this is not glamorous things about playing the guitar, but it's this really focused work that is going to help you grow, and the big thing is with this stuff is just staying consistent with it, which with anything really in life is just consistency, and that's where you see improvement. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, if you don't, everyone calls it the cage system nowadays, but back before it was called the cage system, it's just knowing your inversions up and down the neck of the guitar, and being comfortable with where all of these chord shapes live up and down the neck, and not only just knowing the chords, but knowing the arpeggios, knowing the pentatonics, and knowing the scales, and doing it in a way that fits the chord shape that you're doing. So, for example, like if I play the C A shape C major pentatonic, that is, I'm barely moving my hands. It's right out of that chord shape. Same thing if I play the arpeggio. Right? Or if I'm playing the major scale. Oops. It's the fingering with all this stuff is super important for when you're doing it on the spot. When you're improvising, you don't want to think about the fingering and how you're shaping your hand for all of these shapes. It should just be second nature. Your hand should just know to go there, and that's what I mean by the fundamentals. So arpeggios, pentatonic, major scale, minor scale. Dominant scale. So knowing how to do all of these chords, scales, arpeggios in every shape. So not just the A shape, but the G shape. really looking at this chord shape in your hand and trying to, you know, if this is a G chord, not that you would ever play a chord like that, but if that's the G chord, you know, visualize that chord shape as you're playing this scale. Oops. Same thing with the pentatonic or the arpeggio. And this is where you can start to break down these smaller chords. You know, when I think about C, I don't have to just play this C down here at the bottom of the neck. If I think about C, C lives here and here and here and here and here and here. So there's all of these triads instead of this massive bar chord, which you don't want all the time. You don't want these big sounding chords to be ringing out in all of your songs. A lot of the times you're just using the smaller shaped chords, the smaller triads in these shapes. And that's what practicing this fundamental stuff is going to help you with. So just to recap what we've talked about in this short video, you want to work on the fundamentals of the instrument as much as you can every day. This is stuff that I still work on every day. And pick a key, let that be your key for the day, and then do the arpeggio, the pentatonic, the major scale, the minor scale, and the dominant scale in every shape for that day. Then the next day, do a different key, and then do that arpeggio, pentatonic, major, minor, dominant scale in every shape up the neck. And then that's your fundamental practice. You'll be surprised with how quickly your hand, if you stay consistent with this, you'll be surprised with how quickly your hand gets used to these positions and gets more familiar with the fretboard, which is the goal with all of this. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, place them in the comments below and I'll answer every single comment, I promise. If you want to dive in deeper with this stuff, if you're like, I don't even know what an arpeggio is, how am I supposed to do the arpeggio? Then make sure that you look at the information in my description of this video to contact me for private lessons. The first private lesson is free. I can do it online or I can do it in person, depending on where you're at in the world. And yeah, you can find more information about myself and lessons at tomwatkinsmusic.com. I'll see you next time.